Don't need dreams when I have reality. Well, we're going to go ahead and get into this game here. We have another Tier 2 match. It looks like it's going to be a TVZ. We have Scaramanga versus Perks.
Scaramanga.
And in the top right corner, we are going to have that blue Zerg playing for Team Beast. It is going to be Perks. See if he can get them up on the board. No2CareThat leading 2-0.
Scaramanga, pretty dope dude. I believe from Australia or New Zealand.
He is Australian, as far as I know.
One of our far away CPL brethren. Him and Nablime holding it down for the. I don't know. What do people call Australia?
For the men down under.
For the Thunder down under.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to assume that little chat was about lag as well, because they are some laggy peeps. Australia does not have the best internet and is super far away.
Yeah, and not only does Australia not have the best internet, but they like literally have to run like a cable all the way underneath the goddamn ocean to get, you know, their internet through like Asia or some shit, and then that gets disseminated all like, so it's like one of the most indirect routes that a connection can take. And so it just makes it so much worse. Okay, so we have
it's a 9 pool.
Coming out of our Zerg player here.
Kind of a big map.
I'm a fan of Mr. Perks.
That's a long run.
Yeah, it truly is quite a ways for some Zerglings to make themselves across the map here. But even still, you know, 1x expand, still pretty vulnerable to that. You can do a lot of delay if you use your Zergling as well.
I gotta say,
he's
not gonna be expanding when he comes in here and sees this finished pool. He's gonna be like, oh geez, time to, you know, get some SCVs to block when these lings pop. Maybe even throw down a second barracks is probably what I'd be doing right now. Maybe a bunker at the top of that ramp.
I like the 2-Rax Academy response where you block the ramp, you've got 2 barracks, you throw down your academy, you make a bunch of Marines fire bats and like 2 medics, and you can bust like at least 3 or 4 Sunkens.
Yeah, kind of a shame he lost that SCV so quickly too, because sometimes you can really kite these Zerglings around. Like sometimes the Zerg opponent wants to try and kill it, and you can just delay these lings from getting to your base for like forever. Or you can even thin them out. Sometimes they'll keep 1 or 2 on the SCV, and that's just 2 less that are at your front fighting you.
Something that higher level players do to me when I'm doing the 9 pull too is that they'll keep their worker in front of my Zerglings, but like you know, glitch them out so that way they can't get to my base, or to their base rather, quite on time. It's really frustrating. What the heck was that?
Wanted to make sure
an SCV.
Wanted to make sure those lings were coming on over. So,
what else would they be doing?
Well, I do like how he decided to go ahead and drone up afterwards. He didn't build any additional lings. He knew that when it got scouted, he wasn't going to be able to get anything done with it. So it's nice to go ahead and get your economy rolling. He is leaving a bit of a hole at the top of that ramp, though. I feel like he might have been... He had a chance for a second to run on up there.
Excuse me, Scaramanga, please. Please, my friend. You only have 3 Marines still. Okay, here comes the 4th. But you have not killed a single Zergalingaro. I mean, this has been, like, pretty okay, honestly. We have 3 SCVs going down so far. The Scout, the one that got sacrificed, and the one on the ramp. So, like... That's not terrible.
Yeah, 3 SCVs isn't the worst. It's not the best either. I mean, the Zerg has to sacrifice a lot not having that hatchery up so early.
Yeah, but even still, well, I don't like that he just sacrificed 3 of his Zerglings, so that's a pretty big deal. If you cap him on the map, though, it's pretty good. The Zerg can't, or the Terran can't really run across the map or do anything aggressive with their Marines. Oh my god, a 4th SCV!
That was a
6th round.
What I'm watching the replay on my Twitch stream.
That was dope, bro. Like 3, but like yeah. So like imagine if you had 6 Zerglings right now instead of 3 here. These Marines do not do very well versus Zerglings right now.
Yeah.
So those could have potentially done some good damage to that army, and then you won't have to make this sunken.
Yeah, without stim and medics, Marines are super fragile. Even amounts of lings can generally take them on. So if you have like 4 lings and 4 Marines, or 3 and 3, things get pretty dicey pretty quick.
Yeah, so I'm not a super big fan of how Perks has been handling his Zerglings right now. Like this is a very expensive sunken colony. You don't want to be making that right now. You could have a 3rd hatchery almost instead for the cost of the sunken. The sunken's basically like a little bit more than half of a hatchery. So that's a pretty big economic commitment after you've gone with a 9 pool. So you honestly don't want to be doing that. He had 6 Zerglings. He would have been just fine, and now his 3 other Zerglings going to get smacked by these groups of Marines that are coming down here. Oh my gosh, we're not even going to get a kill.
Yeah, he saves both, 2 of them though. Only loses 1.
Yeah, they're not dead. But,
and he knows that the army has retreated, so it's no longer on the map. He doesn't have to worry about some sort of silly attack coming in.
But yeah, so we're going into 2-hatch muted here, folks, and this is going to be extremely micro-dependent. This is a pretty advanced strategy, something that I don't personally like to do myself.
And it gets
we got the scan, though, but the engineering bay is a little bit late. I kind of had hoped the scan would be a little bit sooner, so that way the turrets could be up by the time these mutas make their way over. But we still have the 50% of the way of the construction on the engineering bay to be finished here so far. So these mutas should be able to do a decent bit of damage, but
and instead of staying at home to defend, he's going to move out and hope that his threat of attack makes him come back home. And I gotta say, that's probably the better idea. I mean, there's only 1 sunken here. He has a lot of stuff. He's gonna run right over that sunken.
It's not even the threat of attack, really.
He's just gonna go kill him.
Some SCV damage here, but we have 3 racks of Marines, and we're constructing turrets everywhere. You really only need 1 base if you get this natural, and then you just win by default here. So Scaramanga should just go.
Yeah.
Kill everything.
Well, he's clumping up his stuff. There's the stem, and yeah, I think this is just gonna end it right here.
Look at this. Perks' muta's not even doing anything right now because he's too focused at the natural expansion. This is why, this is such a difficult strategy to pull off, especially when you're playing so far behind.
What's going on here? Well, he had a couple of mutas pick off some Marines, but that is not going to be enough. We got a fire bat getting 7 kills.
Fire bat already. These drones trying to evacuate, realizing the rest of the army is down there, so where did they go?
He killed the fire bat. Got an 8th one, too.
Yeah, pretty cool. Nice job, drones, but y'all gonna be dead in just a second here. Muta's not even attacking anything in the main base right now. On hold position, getting destroyed by Marines.
Yeah. There's only 3 of them.
That is all she wrote, folks. Perks has got 5 drones, I think, total? No, 6 drones, because there's 3 in the extractor.
Yeah, I mean, he's at 10 supply. 7. We're at 10 supply at 8 minutes. This is any second now.
Any second now. Come on. Maybe, maybe Perks kicks his Smurf account here. Kick's trying to learn how to play Zerg. Perks, Kicks, I could hear it.
Well, quick little TVZ there. Scaramanga taking it down. He's pretty good tear. I'm gonna be right back real quick. Just gonna head to the bathroom, grab something to drink. Give us about 2 minutes. I'll keep my fans entertained.
Alright guys, well, Boss Ross is gone. I'll just regale you really quickly with a quick story from my childhood, okay? Okay, we're good? Yes, okay, I'm just gonna... Well guys... Oh, sorry, man. I got all into it too, and I hit the mute button. Okay, well, guys, this is a story all about how my life got turned upside down. So if you would take a minute and just sit right there, I'll tell you all about the time that I became the Prince of Bel-Air. Okay, so back in West Philadelphia, where I was born and raised, on the playground is where I would spend most of my days. And I was just like chilling out, max, and relaxing, all cool. And I was shooting some b-ball outside of my school. So a couple of guys who were up to no good, they started making a lot of trouble in my neighborhood. So I got in a fight, just one little fight. My mom got scared and said that I was going to be moving to my aunties and uncles in Bel Air. So yeah, that's how I ended up in Bel Air, guys.
Did you seriously? Did you seriously just talk out the theme of Fresh Prince?
Yes.
That's amazing. I still had my headphones on.
Well, they want me to keep going.
I like how you were silent for the longest time first.
Yeah, I've got an inline. I've got an inline mute, so I hit it with my booty apparently. Yeah.
Nicely done.
Yeah. Well, Alrighty, so you back?
I am back. I'm just gonna pull up the next game, and I don't really have any other way to hide this, so I just did that.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, well, it looks like the time that I whistled for a cab, when it came near, the license plate said fresh and had dice in the mirror. That story's gonna have to wait for another day.
Classic. Fantastic. What a character. I do like having that little bit of backstory on you, though.
Yeah. You didn't know?
No, I was not aware of your roots.
Yep.
Your roots in Philadelphia and Bel Air.
Quite a colorful history, if I had to say so myself. My Uncle Phil was kind of a grump. He would very constantly be yelling at me and stuff like that. And I have this really nerdy cousin named Carlton, and he was just a retard. Something actually wrong with him. Have you ever seen that guy dance? I don't know. I mean, he's got a dance named after him, but I think it's one of more of those infamous things, right? So he's kind of a butthead in general. I had this homeboy named Jazzy Jeff who actually had something wrong with his brain. I think he's got a neurological issue or something like that. Because my parents, or I guess my aunt and uncle, sorry, I just refer to them as parents because I grew up with them essentially, right? So they're kind of like my parents, but they would throw him out the door physically, and he would just land on his head over and over again. So he had a bunch of problems after that. So
probably it was significant brain trauma there.
Yeah, it was hard times, man.
Did you really grow up with your aunt and uncle there, or did you move there when you were 20?
No, I wasn't 20, but so I would say that I did grow up in the sense that sure, my childhood was with my mom's, but as a young man, those were really what you would consider to be your formative years. So I'm the man now that I am because of my Uncle Phil.
Oh, of course,
He's a good example. He's a successful judge. So growing up, it really showed me another side of the world that I wouldn't have gotten when I was living in West Philly.
Of course, definitely. I mean, Bel Air is quite a bit different than Philly. But we actually have a different map for Game 2 this time. Wasn't all Fighting Spirit. We got a Circuit Breaker that snuck on in there.
Circuit Breaker, objectively the best map in the entire world, but spawning down here in the bottom left-hand corner of the objectively best map in the entire world, we have the White Terran Scaramanga.
And at the top left corner, we have our orange Zerg, who prefers Circuit Breakers to Fighting Spirit, apparently, which I do have to agree with him. It is going to be Perks.
A lot of people, especially lower level players, call the Circuit Breakers because it's
Circuit?
Yeah,
like
it's
a Zerg map? I like it for Terran, man. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, people, well, good players, once you've gotten to a level where you're like more comfortable with, you know, especially the long game where you're defending a bunch of bases and stuff like that, it's more comfortable at those higher levels. But for low level players, they have a hard time defending, especially the third, since it's a mineral only and it has a lot of attack routes and stuff into it. So I can see why people would feel that way, you know, having not been super well versed in the late game style of play. But I don't know, I think it's probably the most balanced map, or one of the most balanced maps out there.
Yeah, and I like the extra expansions at the 12, 3, 6, and 9. It's nice to have.
Yeah.
It's a great TVP map, and that is my favorite matchup, so I love it.
Just like sitting in your base like a good boy, upgrading some upgrades,
Yeah, but
making some tanks.
I'm not, you know, moving across the map, but I'm just slithering out constantly as I take my natural and take my third, and take my fourth, and there's just nothing Protoss can do about it. It's awesome.
Sounds balanced. Is this hatchery off by a hex?
Kind of looks like it.
Yeah, it looks like it's placed one to the right.
Well.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Well, that's annoying.
Well, not game
But
ending,
in the meantime,
but...
come on, drone. Well, it's not, I wouldn't say it's entirely game ending, but it's a pretty huge deal. That's a lot of minerals that you're going to be missing out for the majority of the game.
Oh, drone get a little stuck. Hey, he's gonna go ahead and hit the brakes. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, it looked like Johnny Boy here was about to get himself a bit of a first blood here in this match,
But hey, didn't you know that bio SCVs can repair each other?
yeah. Interestingly enough. They are biological though, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. And they can be repaired for whatever reason. They can be repaired to heal, or medics can heal them.
they get affected by irradiate too, right?
Sure do. But since they have 60 health, they kind of live for a while, so it's kind of okay.
Yeah. Not quite eraserable. Although, I suppose it would work eventually, but it's not quite the devastating effect that you see.
Right, against drones. But no, it's certainly doable. It just takes a little longer. It's the same way with Storm. You know, people think that storming SCVs isn't very effective. It is very effective. Like, you have to be on top of that stuff right away. I don't even know how Zerg or Protoss ever saves their workers against a storm drop.
You have to preemptively pull because they die like pretty much instantly.
Yeah, immediately.
Like SCVs, they can be in storm for a little bit and not die, and it's kind of annoying because like sometimes you'll see a storm drop that'll just hit in kind of the wrong spot, and the storm will dissipate before the SCV goes through it again, and they won't die. So it's not as effective, but yeah, it still kills the crap out of SCVs if the storms are placed well.
Oh yeah, like if you don't notice, you just lose everything. And sometimes even when you do notice, you still lose everything.
Yep.
Like storm drops aren't typically done against Terran, but they do happen, and it is super frustrating.
It's so funny when
like
you describe
20+
almost.
SCVs.
Yeah, it's just weird because like whenever you describe anything in StarCraft Brood War to like players that don't play Brood War, like StarCraft 2 especially, it just sounds so broken. Like everything about Brood War sounds disgustingly broken. Like how could you make anything that could possibly balance out instantly killing infinity workers? Like it's ridiculous. But then you know come to find out that it totally works because of Brood War. Everything is so broken, it's kind of nothing's broken, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, every race has their, little broken abilities, like being able to repair buildings, or being able to regenerate health, or, storm dropping 20 workers. Gotta hate Protoss.
Okay, so we're going for a fast evolution chamber here. This may indicate that we're looking to delay Hive a little bit for perks, and go for a stronger mid game here. it could be interesting to see what it gets. Very often, the most upgraded first upgrade that you get for Zerg is going to be Carapace. But if we're looking to do something like a Lurker Bus strategy, a +1 range is actually very good, especially if you're going to be going Lurker Hydralist. Looks like we're just going for a fast Carapace instead, though. That's very advantageous for a number of reasons. Obviously, it affects all of your ground units, so that's just a great upgrade to have because you're upgrading every unit in your army, as opposed to the attack upgrades. But it's also very important just in general because of how Marines function versus Zerglings. The +1 armor makes your Zerglings so much more resilient and allows them to get on top of the Marines and do their damage more effectively. So having that just a little bit of extra time alive as a Zergling is going to make them way, way, way more effective in the mid game.
Yeah, and I think that would lend itself to be wanting to go for earlier ultras because the upgrades are so powerful when you get them.
Yeah, that is often a very good way to go about it. You start your upgrades early, and then when you have +2 from the Ultralist Carapace upgrade plus the normal Carapace upgrades, they're much more effective versus Bio, especially when there's a very low Science Vessel count, very low tank count, no mines on the field and stuff like that. But our Zerg opponent has opted to go for a Spire after Lurker, which is just super weird. But we may be seeing something like a 3-base Hive with Guardian Lurker Hydralisk or Guardian Lurker Zergling. We do have a lot.
Just for Scourge. I thought the Terran player was playing interesting. We had a factory get built on 1 barracks, and then he added these additional barracks.
So the funny thing about Scourge, right? Like, obviously you want to get a Spire eventually, but typically you want to get Hive first because the Defiler... Oh my gosh. Oh
Catching
my gosh.
These lurkers.
Oh
Ooh,
my
but he gets
gosh.
the burrows.
They didn't get focused down, though.
Kind of a fair trade. It was like 5 bio for 1 lurker.
Yeah, that's pretty good. But we do have a tank on the field, and tanks do outrange lurkers, so these lurkers are not going to be able to do too much, especially with the 2 barracks and the turret up front here. I mean, we're going to try to go for a little bit of a contain here, so that's going to be kind of nice, but... Overall, I would say this is maybe not the best start so far, as this Lurker Contain should be able to get scanned out of here in a little bit. Tank's very, very effective at dealing with Lurkers. This is a very early tank.
Oh, yeah, and because he built it when there was only 1 barracks. I haven't seen anything like that except for a 1-1-1, but it certainly wasn't a 1-1-1 build. And he's even got the Science Vessel on the way now, so this tank is going to be able to push back any sort of contain that Lurkers can give you.
Yeah, this is a pretty strange way to go about it, but this may be interesting because our Terran opponent actually does have a fairly sizable bio army to support this tank, and if you just slow push across the map, you kill off a couple of lurkers here and there, and you push all the way to the natural, it can be pretty difficult to deal with unless you have a swarm on time. But we do have a very timely Hive, about 45% of the way done right now. So getting a Defiler out shouldn't be the world's most difficult proposition at this point.
Yeah, but he's gonna have to hurry up. I mean, tanks are gonna start killing and pushing back these lurkers. You can only contain them for so long. And that 3rd base he did build in the top right was scouted.
Couple of lurkers up on the high ground here, gonna be able to do a bunch of damage to this bio army though. Oh my gosh, and they're still getting kills. What are you doing? Back up, Scaramanga, hurry! Wow, what a fantastic trade so far.
Yeah, he didn't get too many either. I'm kind of surprised. I don't know if just the way the units were jumbled, the spines are missing like half the time or something. But
yeah,
he gets 8 kills 100% for free.
Horizontal. But yeah, that was very nice. And with these +1 armor upgrades as well, the lurkers are going to be a little bit harder to kill in a timely fashion as well. But we do have a radiance now, so these should be softened up. But this is not
high ground advantage.
Oh no. Well, lurkers get cleaned up, but that was a very large army for 2 lurkers and just like a half of a control group worth of Ooh, and is the Scourge gonna get the... The Science Vessel goes down! Alright, these lurkers now fighting uphill, but there is a pretty paltry number of Marines here right now. So, even then, we did get a couple of Marine kills here. So that wasn't terrible, but...
Yeah, most of this is just medics. There's actually only 2 Marines and a Fireman here.
There we
He's
go.
got
That
the-
was a very
the
nice
dude
engagement
race.
on those lurkers at the bridge. But lurkers getting caught out here morphing, and we're going to just spread our army out to our heart's content, hopefully, and these guys are not going to make it very far at all.
Might even lose those 2 overlords just to the north of this.
Very nice stim getting on top of this army.
Oh, wow.
Losing almost nothing. Oh, I see that. Please
Yep,
shoot.
nope,
Okay, there we
loses
go.
nothing. And these 2 overlords are not long for this world either. Oh, things are just kind of unraveling here.
Yeah, Perk's getting caught with some sloppy unit positions, but he does have his 3rd and 4th base here. The 4th may take a little while to get scattered out just because it's kind of a weird position. We're checking the mineral only right now. We have 2 lurkers kind of being here at the top of this ramp, and without a science whistle, these could potentially be on hold position and get some serious damage done if the army tries to sweep on into that 12 o'clock base here.
I am worried, though. We have a drone just sitting idly in the main. I believe that's supposed to be the Defiler mound, but it is not. It's just sitting there. So we don't even have Defilers on the way.
That's so annoying.
Like, I think this is it. I don't...
Yeah. We have 2 tanks out here, a extremely high
Well,
number. Oh, but
Lings.
the units.
Oh, and the vessel
bio
goes
units
down.
from the Terran.
Yeah, they were too far back.
Oh, we have a dropship. We have a dropship dropping in the natural, the main, the natural, the main.
Oh,
The natural.
Just right in the natural, because why not?
All right. Well,
Yeah.
Scaramanga getting a fantastic engagement here at the natural expansion. Absolutely annihilating all the drones here. Only 1, 2 lurkers here that are just not even going to be able
And,
to go.
yeah, they're going to be toast. Well, one
Alrighty, guys.
survives.
We'll get that right hand up in the air. Let's wave a nice goodbye to our Perks' hopes and dreams for this matchup, because losing your natural expansion and your Hydralisk... Whoa, is he going to lose his Hydralisk then? Alright, eventually, yeah. So losing your ability to make Hydras is pretty big.
Yeah, but we're just going to go into the main here and kill all of the tech. There's no Nidus, so whatever he can produce here is what you get. I mean, 27 supply to 100. This is, yeah. Well, his 4th isn't going to survive. And never built it anyway, but...
No, there is one. It's at the
Oh,
9 o'clock.
at the... Yeah, I didn't even see that one.
Oh my gosh, these are the most cost-efficient lurkers.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
11 kills. Not bad. 12.
Oh my gosh, and no more scans.
Oh! Who would have thought?
We do have scans at the main, though. I'm not really sure what the deal is, but...
Yeah, must not have it on hotkey, or got his hotkeys confused.
Oh my gosh, this guy has got 10 kills! There was a whole army here, and now it's just 1 Marine and a harem of medics.
Yeah, well, these medics blocking up the Lings!
Oh my gosh.
This
We have
one-
2 armor versus only 1 attack, so this Marine is like doing like no damage right now.
Yeah, but the problem is, we lost about 1 million drones. We lost all the important pieces of tech except for the Hive.
Yeah, we got a drop in the top right that wiped out that base as well. So.
Oh, I didn't even realize that was toast. Well, yeah, that's the GG.
Yeah, at this point it's
But this
kinda like
lurker, MVP, man, he's gonna get 20 kills if he kills this Marine, which he will.
He's gonna do it too! This guy!
Sick.
You should just hide him so he doesn't get killed. Just let him live through this. Let him live as the lonely lurker who got 20 kills. This is the most ambitious lurker. He's like, I'm coming to the top of this ramp. I'm gonna defend the main. all
I'll
by myself."
defend! No, you
And
won't.
with his track record, can you blame him? Can you really blame him?
Can't say I do, but there is the GG's. No2CareThat going up 3-0. Does Beast have a response? I'm not sure.
Yeah, No2CareThat getting a little bit slaughtered right now, honestly. Like,
Slaughtered?
their players
They're
have
doing
not
the
been
slaughtering.
bad. Or, I mean, you know what I meant. Team Beast. getting
Team
slaughtered.
Beast receiving the
But,
slaughters.
Yeah, man, like, I don't know. Like, the players from Beast are really not playing terribly. Just No2CareThat their tier 2 lineup has just shown to be very, very strong.
I suppose so. I mean, we're doing good today. That's for sure.